We're talking Michael Myers today, well-renowned badass in the horror sphere. And we're going to go through a list of over 20 horror villains, who we think he can take in a fight and who we think can take him. And I'm here with a true American, Big Daddy Z. He watched it when it came out.
Oh, yeah.
He's a big horror fan. He watched The Exorcist in theaters and pissed himself. Not because he was scared.
Because I like doing that.
For the love of the game, honestly.
I don't want people to sit by me, so, I mean.
He needed more people to be able to say that they had done that while watching that movie.
Yeah.
And that shows his,
Dedication
to the horror genre. I've watched all 13 Halloween movies. Did you know that? Did you even know there was 13?
I don't think I knew there was 13. I knew there was probably around 10. I remember when you told me that, and I'm thinking, why did you do that? I mean, I thought you lost a bet,
Love of the game.
Wow.
I did it for the love of the game, in case you didn't hear me say that. But, hey, I just got a shipment of 11 pounds of protein powder, so I'm kind of feeling like Michael Myers myself.
Okay.
Luckily, I had a good day at work. Mm-hmm. But sometimes you have a bad day at work, and you're ready to just...
Most days, probably. Yeah. Yep.
They call it a mask off moment sometimes when you show your true feelings. I call it a mask on moment.
Yeah. No one understands that, but I know you have said that before.
I'm going to put a William Shatner mask on and just go ham on people.
Go machete.
He uses a kitchen knife more often than not. Jason is the machete guy.
I knew that. You're right.
Yeah. So I think before we start, maybe let's kind of
Give our bios.
Gauge the bio of Michael Myers.
Okay.
Like what powers are we going to be using? So my mental image of him, because in the 13 films it can differ a little bit. I say you kind of want to keep him at his most recognizable and lean towards more the strongest, but I mean we're going to be kind of contradicting that. At least I will for sure.
Because you've seen him so many different, portrayed so many different ways.
He has,
Well,
he has like, I wouldn't say superhuman strength, but he has like peak human strength, despite being institutionalized.
But we're talking about Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought we were talking about Jason. All right. Yeah. You're right. Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's got psychopath strength.
Yeah. There's another
Level.
type of strength
Yeah.
that's a level below psychopath strength.
We're not going to mention.
We're not going to say that word until we hit the 4-minute mark.
Yeah, then
we're not there yet.
Right.
We're not there yet.
I can't wait to pop that name.
I know. Me too. So he has psycho strength, and because he can rip through like houses and shit, and like he could pick people up with one arm, choke them like
hold him off the ground. Like
90s era Undertaker.
Yeah.
He's
got. I mean, it's almost superhuman. And apparently he's immune to gunshots or bullets.
incredible durability. He has incredible durability because I think it was
Good
a Magnum.
stamina.
He can walk forever. Humans are the animal with the best stamina. I'm not sure if you knew that.
I did not.
In fact, depending whether
I don't know why you would know that.
weather
or why
dependent,
that's important.
humans can beat horses in a marathon.
Okay.
And Michael Myers.
Has that ever happened though?
Michael Myers is like the tortoise of this analogy.
Well, I mean, he could chase it down. He'd chase me down.
He walks. He's kind of like
He can
He's
run.
Jason in that. I don't know if I've seen him run.
Well, he may not have, but he could.
I've seen
not
Cole.
like he's-
I've seen Cole runnings, but it doesn't mean I know how to bobsled. And I know the rhyme that they say.
I don't
Feel
know.
the rhythm, feel the rhyme. Come on now, it's bobsled time, and that's how they won the Olympics.
That was such. They didn't win the Olympics.
No, did.
It was a big. It's a big deal that they were even
they
in.
did. Anywho, so, and I guess another thing I wanted. He has incredible durability. He can walk, and he'll find a way to catch up with you. It's not going to matter in this, but he can find you.
Yeah.
But this, it's like you versus them, no other intangibles that make it maybe minus Jaws. Jaws, I think, we can talk about it off water and obviously in water.
Off water, Jaws. He's not as good as in water.
Well,
I will
off
say
water,
that.
though, it's in a UFC octagon. So
Yeah, I walk around to the back of him
you're in really
and
tight.
kick him many times.
You're basically in so tight with the shark that you're actually
so it's
already
it's
dead.
like a phone booth.
Yeah, exactly.
In a phone booth, I don't even know if he could open his mouth, but yeah.
And what else would you say? I think those are the biggest things of note. Strength, how strong is he?
Yeah,
He's really
durability, stamina.
But he is mortal.
Intellect.
Intellect, I would say
Culturally, he's fairly sophisticated, I'd say.
he's
No,
a
I'm
suburb
kidding.
kid.
I made that up. If you saw their house, I don't know if it's I guess it was early suburbia back then.
And intelligence, I would say he's above average intelligence.
Yeah. Not a lot of higher thoughts, but
Now, Jason's a retard. We can finally say that word.
it's the retard strength we were referring to earlier, which is greater than average human strength, even greater average angry human strength. Just
Yeah.
step above, and then above that is what we're talking about.
It's like the
Psycho
parts
strength.
of their brain that's turned off are turned on for like extra human strength.
Right, yeah. It's a brain stem.
The lizard brain part of your brain.
I know you say that. You love that name, but
Well, you're the one.
Probably.
You have a corkboard with pictures,
Of
and
lizards?
you say lizard person under a bunch of people's pictures.
well, yeah, they are.
Bog Sagamana is on that list,
Yeah, well,
which I don't even. He's not even a bad guy.
he's dead. So, did you know that he's dead? Right? Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah,
There's some weird way.
I thought
died.
lizard people live forever. That's what you scream all the time. So
All
I
right,
want-
let's start getting
the one that started out
Jason
with
killed.
that.
Jason.
Oh, and also
Michael Myers killed off here.
check out the Art the Clown video that I just made. Same format of this. If you enjoy this, Scream, Ghostface, Michael Myers versus any of the Scream characters. What's your immediate gut?
His scream is fast, quick.
That's true.
I still Michael Myers is.
Yeah.
Because the Scream looks like a little guy. Even Michael Myers in any version is a large, big.
Size, we didn't even bring that up, but yeah.
I mean,
He looks like he's like 6'2".
he would just grab the skinny little and stab him in the head. He'd stab him right in the brain. I swear to God, he would. He'd grab him by the neck.
He told me he's going to do it too.
I'd love to see that because I never liked that Scream, Ghostface.
Yeah, so there's multiple different. Some of them are women, some of them are men. None of them are big. They are quick, that's for sure. But there's just no way that they would have to get like 1,000 shots off on Michael before it would even be close to beating him.
Yeah.
His durability, he's taken so many shots, and he'll just take it. It would behoove
Has he ever died in a movie?
at the last one. Spoiler alert.
With like
But
a nuke?
They
nuked him or
literally
what?
put him into an industrial grinder.
Okay.
But he can't. But so the thing is, if you explode him, if you grind him up, if you melt him, something that utterly destroys him,
So a way to kill him.
or
Behead him?
probably if you behead him or shoot him in the brain with
A bazooka.
like a
RPG.
sniper, like a 50
Oh.
cal.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ghostface. I like to start it off here because it's like the tomato can that you
That's the
kick.
tomato can.
You know. Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger. I don't know how to go on this. I lean Freddy out of the gates, but what say you? I honestly think because Michael Myers is so close to like a real life serial killer, I bet his dreams he could probably be haunted by some stuff.
Well, my call is Michael Myers.
Really?
Yeah, because again, Freddy's small. I know well, I didn't really think about the supernatural in your dream
You
stuff.
gotta.
Well, I don't care. Michael Myers' dreams, he's in charge of them. All right? He is like.
I think he's probably a pussy in his own dreams.
No, he's not.
I think that's
Have
why
you ever seen the
he's-
movie Cell?
I have, yes. Great movie.
That actually is a really good movie. But anyway, in that guy, if you remember his dreams, he was godly.
But he had nightmares
God
where
king.
he was a little child being
Well, that's
abused by
true.
his mother.
I think it was his dad. But anyway,
No, because it's burned into my mind. His mom puts a hot iron on him. I still remember that scene like it was.
okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna. We'll say we're both right on that one.
Yeah, but you're not.
Now,
Apologize.
I think Mike, I just maybe like him more. That's
You
but he
definitely
just-
do. You like the.
I just think he comes down with like one swing of that knife.
You have
He'll
to
cut his
think-
head off,
But that okay.
and then Freddy's gone. No more Freddy's
hear,
revenge.
Hear me out here.
All right.
So Freddy Krueger faced Jason and got his head cut off in the real world, and he didn't die. I don't. You have to not fear Freddy to beat him.
Well,
It's like
I
saying-
can't believe Michael Myers fears Freddy.
I think he fears things, and Freddy can become things that he fears.
Like what?
Maybe what he did to his sister maybe haunts him.
I think he likes
he's
that.
angry. He's angry about something. Something drives him.
He has
And
no
Freddy
remorse.
will
He's got no
find
guilt.
that.
Nothing. He doesn't feel bad about anything. He just the
But
only thing that makes him
even-
angry is not being able to kill people. he
Even
wants to kill.
psychopaths and sociopaths have emotions when it comes to themselves.
Well, how did that? I mean, killing his sister wasn't anything to be traumatic to him. I mean, he loved.
Maybe
it.
it's the loss of loved ones or the rejection of loved ones. I feel like he would just endlessly
not just a
fuel
psychopath,
Freddy.
though. He's not your typical. He's not a Ted Bundy who's a lot bigger and wears a mask all the time.
I think he wears a mask because he feels rejected by society, and there's there's definitely deep psychological issues with him, and I think he has demons to the point that I think there's something huge that Freddy could feed off of. That's why I give Freddy a big advantage, and I don't know necessarily.
No. I hate to.
You're thinking of it more of like a physical bout, but
No.
Freddy
I
takes
know what
it
you're
to-
talking about.
to whatever his
his
advantage
there's
is.
nothing to get into. He's a predator. He's. I was trying to think exactly. He is a demon. He does not have any social weaknesses that normal people have. He doesn't have any of that. I mean, he's beyond a psychopath.
Let me.
He's
shoot
like the
you
king of them.
A question: do you think animals have nightmares?
Yes.
Then I think Michael Myers would have nightmares that would affect him. I think of him more animalistic
I don't even
than
think he
demon.
dreams. He probably doesn't even dream.
People dream.
Not when he's been taking Thorazine
He probably
for
wanted to
13
be
years.
a lawyer.
Yeah. Big dreams.
Well, we don't have to agree on this.
Right.
So I'm gonna stick with Freddy. It's a very close matchup for me. I go Freddy just because I don't see the lane for victory for him.
Michael.
And I think Freddy becomes something he fears most, and he kind of turns back into the little kid, and he just swallows him up.
Okay. I mean, the little kid was
How do you
like to kill.
How do you
Was a
defeat
murderer.
Freddy though? How does Michael defeat Freddy?
Well, at some point, I mean, I think if you cut him into enough pieces and like put him in acid, he's gone.
He's come back from everything, dog.
Okay, well then you're talking about Superman then. Okay, you
That's
can't
what I'm
defeat
saying.
Superman.
Well,
All right, in that respect.
That's why I bet on Superman. Well, if you
So the strongest man
if
in the
you're
world
not, if
who's-
you're not scared of him, then he can't defeat you. And then
Okay, that's why I say he's not. He's afraid of no one ever for anything.
Commenters, let us know.
Yeah, go on. I
who
mean,
you
because
think
I'm saying
down
Michael
below.
Myers just doesn't.
I get it. I like Mike, but I don't. Freddy's my favorite too. So
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that. Yeah. Okay. On to the next one.
Art the Clown.
I think he beats Art the Clown. I know you like and don't.
He has
Because it's a love affair you have
He has
with him.
baboon strength. Have you ever seen what baboons are capable of?
Well, okay.
He tore a person's scalp off in the movie.
That's not even that hard.
He tore someone's chest open too.
Okay. Again, I see that
I've never
all the
seen
time.
Michael do that.
He doesn't need to.
Michael's a baby bag bitch compared to Art.
Okay. Yeah, Art looks like he works out all the time, right?
But he's still strong. That's why it's baboon strength. Baboons are like 80 pounds and they're twice as strong as humans.
Okay, he is not a baboon. You're just
He's-
making a metaphor, which
He's
does not mean that.
smarter than a baboon. And he knows how to use bombs.
All right. Well,
Terrifier 3.
Okay. I saw.
He has a
Terrifier 2.
gun too.
All right.
He's got the weaponry, dog.
I'm not going for it.
He's used a
dumb.
flamethrower. He's used something that's like an ice thrower. He literally
Snowball?
No,
You throw a
that would be
snowball?
cool. He freezes someone and then like breaks them into pieces. So he's almost like the Joker level. He's like an evil Batman type of deal.
Who's got all the toys?
Yeah, exactly. Which if you ever meet a girl who says she has that, depending on what type
Marry
of
her.
guy you are, yeah.
I
But
have all the toys. I'll be over at your place tonight. I know you like Art. I should
he's
have watched more
definitely
of him.
skinnier than
Yeah,
Michael.
no kidding.
He's maybe as
He's
tall.
built like an undernourished 45-year-old man or something.
Yeah, I know.
Not built. I mean,
It's not a beauty contest, dog.
well, I'm not talking about beauty. I'm talking about physical prowess.
But
which
he's
he has
strong.
none. He got baboon strength. Yeah, I know.
He's got monkey grip. He's got like G.I. Jew Kung Fu grip. You can't say that word on this site.
Kung Fu? Yeah, you can say that. There's nothing wrong
Yeah,
with
that's
that.
true. It is culturally insensitive. But yeah, he has more strength than what you would figure. And
For a clown.
in my mind, I'll give Michael this. It's a slight edge, though. It's not crazy. He's got him in the strength department. He has a gun.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have him in the strength department at all. He may be close. Michael is stronger than him.
I'll give you that.
Put him in a headlock and
I'll give you that.
pull his
Art
head off.
So Art carries a gun. We know that's not necessarily.
Impervious to guns.
He's not impervious because he goes down.
Gets right back up. You could punch
No,
me
he
in the
waits
face, I'll
until
get
you
back up.
you look away and then he gets back up.
That just because that happened doesn't mean that's the only way that it happens.
So what I'm saying is I see a clear pathway to victory is if he gets the gun off, pop, puts him down for a minute.
He
then
got shot 7 times when he fell.
and then he
he fell out a window, okay? So, no.
Art got shot in the head and lived. Well, he came back as a demon. He had his head
So he died.
He had his head cut off and he put it back on his body.
Okay.
He would need to be chopped into 1,000 pieces. So what I'm
Hey,
saying
guess
is,
who's willing to do that? My buddy Michael.
I know, but in the meantime, Art is going to be putting some offense on too, and we know that if he uses the gun, he'll get some extra time to get some extra shots in, and he uses bombs, and that is going to beat a Michael Myers. Think about it.
So he's going to be carrying around a
Think
gun
about
or a
it.
bomb when they run into each other in a dark alley. He's going to have it.
He just
What kind of bomb is he?
he's going to come prepped. Look, they're telling these guys it's a fight to the death, so I expect them to bring all their goodies. That's all I'm going to say.
All right. I think it's like a chance meeting more than a celebrity death match. But
Well, then we should have discussed that before.
Michael Myers
started.
can throw a bomb.
Not
He
if
just
he's
doesn't-
down on
he-
the ground.
He
Like a little-
prefers.
Dude, I've never been shot. I have no idea what it feels like. But if
hurts.
you ever catch me laying down after getting shot,
Call
shoot
a
me
pussy.
again.
Will do.
Just not in the head, because I ain't laying down like that. Is how the saying.
Famous last words. A lot of people said that.
What are you gonna
at
do?
Gettysburg.
Stab me?
At
Those are gonna be
Gettysburg.
my last words.
You pussy. Is that all you have?
Yeah. So again, you're going Mike, and I appreciate that. I will go Art. Again, it's another close matchup, but I'm painting the picture for the viewers, and I think they're going to appreciate that. This one, I'll be very interested to see how you go. Friday the 13th. Jason.
I like him better than Jason. And I know
Okay,
Jason.
I like Michael Myers too, but we have to face reality.
I
at
know he's
some
got a
point.
machete as opposed to a knife.
He can't. I don't know. The only way you kill Jason is if you
Put him in a meat grinder.
kill him and any other Voorhees that's alive, so that the bloodline can't continue. If you're going,
Well, it's not the
if you're
same.
If you're going by Jason, he'll literally be reborn.
Can Michael Myers' entire family be counted in?
That's not how their movies work,
You
big
don't
guy.
know the behind the scenes stuff.
I've
You don't know
watched
the
them
family
all.
history.
Watched all of them.
All right. So you have to
Jason
kill
goes to
all the
hell.
Voorhees.
Jason goes to hell. Jason gets exploded,
In him.
and he
Comes back.
possesses everyone until his niece gives birth, which is going to rebirth him. So
Okay.
he can't completely go to hell until all the Voorhees are dead.
Well, that makes it a little bit harder, right? Mm-hmm. So, if it weren't for this incredible power he has, then it's Michael Myers. Because I know what's-his-face is going to swing and he's going to stick him with the machete. Michael's going to take the knife and just stab repeatedly for like an hour.
He's been, dude. All right, so under that specific scenario, Jason wins. If we're saying one-on-one in an arena, which we would like to see, Jason has had his brain matter. He had a boat motor or boat propeller hit his brain in the bottom of a lake, and he just went into slumber mode.
Well, I mean, then you'd be considered knocked out and lost the fight.
It's to the death.
Well, once he goes into slumber mode, I think Jason's going to do what he needs to do to win.
Well,
Right? Because if
now
Michael Myers went into slumber mode...
It just becomes who's going to land the first headshot then. But even then, it's like Jason... So he would have to land a headshot.
Jason got shot in the head. In the first
Jason?
one? No. Michael Myers got shot in the head.
No.
I think he did. In the
I
first
don't think
one.
so, no. There was never anything on his mask that indicate that he got shot in the
You
face.
did that.
Well, if you get shot in the chest, you still do that.
Not with your head.
Oh, no, you're thinking Jason 2. Or Halloween 2. Yeah, he got shot in the eyes. I forgot about that.
No, you ready to apologize to let everybody know how wrong
I do
you are?
apologize.
I didn't bring my phone.
Must have been like a small caliber bullet. Just enough to destroy his eyes, but not his brain.
I don't think they make those kind of bullets.
Yeah,
That I'm aware of.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, man. I see what you're saying. Maybe I'm discounting Michael too much, but I don't know who you think is gonna beat him.
Well, King Kong would beat him. I'm looking up Michael Myers, and the first thing that comes up was Michael Myers real?
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
he was. Yeah.
He's a real guy. He's my neighbor.
So I go Jason. I can see a pathway for Michael to beat him now that you bring it up, but you know Jason's incredibly durable. I think he's more durable than Michael, and I think if he gets a machete to the brain, I don't.
He got shot in the head, Mr. Myers, and in the eyes with a magnum, close range.
In Halloween 2?
Didn't say which one. He also got shot in the head and the eyes.
I don't remember him ever getting shot in like the temple or anything like that would definitively hit the brain.
I thought in the first one he got shot.
Yeah, he did. He definitely did.
Well,
I don't think it
know
was
that.
in the head.
I mean, I thought in the head.
I don't think it was. I thought it was all chest.
That's the other dude.
Loomis.
Yeah, Loomis shot him in the chest like 6 times.
It doesn't make sense because they kept it rooted. I always thought he never got shot in the head, and if he would have got shot in the head, then I would have been like, eh. It was always like, you know, someone, I guess, could.
Did he kill... Okay, well, you saw all these. So, what movie does he kill Laurie's adoptive parents?
That's the Rob Zombie.
Ew. He just gets shot in the head in that one.
Okay.
It says in self-defense. It's like, yeah, I kind of figured that. You didn't just do it because...
So I can't remember that a ton. Okay, so you brought up a decent point that he got shot in the face in Rob Zombie's Halloween's. Now that is an ultra violent version of Michael. I'm gonna say it. I honestly, Jason could get shot in the face. I think both are gonna be knockouts though if they get hit in the head. So let's speed wise.
Move along.
Michael maybe has the speed and maybe lands the first blow. Well, I know you're gonna go Michael too.
Speed's about even. I mean, in my opinion, no,
They're
bigger.
both pretty slow.
Yeah, I think Michael's a little bigger.
Some Jasons are bigger.
Well, that's true.
Michael.
Yeah, some Jasons are. Yeah.
Ooh.
Well,
Jason has the ranged weapon though. The machetes gives him some reach.
I took that in consideration. I know. I took. That
I'm going back to Jason. Should have
Who just put his arm up?
I should have never faltered.
He'll stab him right in the face.
Okay.
And cut it up. And
while,
stab him in the brain.
While Jason's being stabbed in the face, he's gonna hit him in the head with the machete.
He's gonna pull his arms out of their sockets.
He's not that strong.
Yeah, he is.
Jason is very strong too.
He's Michael Myers.
Let us know. I thought it was a slam dunk. I thought even you would agree with this. Now it just seems like I'm hating on Michael.
No, I mean, I understand your points are. I mean, this is a scientific discussion.
I did the calculations.
But the math works.
Okay, next you're gonna like this one, and you're gonna be very, what's the word? Pulled in two directions. Conflicted.
Oh, there we go. Good, yeah.
The Exorcist, Pazuzu versus Michael Myers.
There's no question.
How so?
Demon from hell, my friend.
What's the pathway to victory?
You can't kill. Well, do you know? You remember in Exorcist where the demon said he didn't say he was a demon. He said he was Satan. And they never talk about that again. But I remember that. But it isn't. It isn't Satan. It's a Pazuzu, which is a major demon. Okay, not like.
He's actually not a bad guy.
Well, yeah. I mean, I know he's got a couple issues. No, he's not a low-level demon. He's a high-level. Hell wins always, unless Michael, the Archangel, Art.
You know he's a demon, right? A demon in human form.
I didn't know that, but he was a low-level demon.
Who?
Art.
Who?
Art the Clown.
I know, I heard you. Yeah, so I agree with you. I think Pazuzu...
I did not know he was a demon. But, what is his, origin story?
We don't know yet.
They haven't done that yet?
We're waiting on it.
Is that Terrifier 4, maybe?
Probably.
But they have not gone into that at all.
Don't know for sure what his thing is.
Oh, my God, they have a huge opportunity.
I know.
Everyone that's a whole movie.
They're going to make so much money, I think.
Is it a cult, or is it kind of a more mainstream, or somewhere in between? Because it's a very good. It is cult. It's a real. He's a good.
But it's gathering momentum every film, and this one was big because it actually. They're just getting more of a budget.
Yeah.
Their special effects work have always been good. That's why I really love the series and keep wanting to make videos about it.
Yeah, I mean, he is. I mean, you say his look is, but I tell you what, the little girl too, though, man.
Yeah, well, she's very vital to it too. She's like a spirit. It takes a new role, kind of in the third.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not the same actress, but won't spoil it for you. Yeah, I think Pazuzu just it possesses Michael. Yeah or no?
Yeah.
And then just
you can't.
He's screwed.
Yeah.
And I don't think he has the will. Kind of like, when I was talking about...
He self-destructs. He makes him self-destruct.
Yeah. That was my Nightmare on Elm Street.
I know. But
he's a dream demon.
He's a dream invader. He is not a demon from hell.
I think he is. Well, if you watch the Final Freddy, he is a dream demon. I'm sorry to drop this lore on you. I know you haven't
That's
watched
fine, but
as
he's
many
like I
shitty-
say, he's a low level. I mean, Pazuzu is one of the 7 high demons in hell.
Beelzebub, Lucifer, Bel. I don't know anymore.
Got to get your ass back to church there, friend. Forgot all the demons. He had more than half of them there.
Yeah, so I'm with you. Pazuzu wins. And that narrative, I think, is the best narrative. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Leatherface versus Michael Myers.
That's a coin flip. I'd pay to see that one, right?
I go Michael.
I don't know. That guy's...
This one's surprising because
I know.
because he has no supernatural abilities.
No.
He's just a big guy.
Well, we don't know that, to be honest. We just never saw
I haven't
him.
watched the entire series, but...
Well, I mean, they haven't shown any, but I would assume he doesn't. He's just a...
Well, you don't know I don't have any supernatural
Well, I
abilities
kind of
either.
do. All right, I'm just really...
Here's the deal, though. Weaponry does play a role. I mean, if Leatherface chops off Michael's arms, then good luck. So then he's just kind of, you have
gonna bite him to death.
Yeah. But he has the mallet too, but I wouldn't use that if I were him. Another thing to consider, I think Leatherface is kind of he is not as intelligent. I don't think it plays a huge role, but I do think that Leatherface is definitely not going to be outsmarted, which Michael's going to...
Wait.
I think I misspoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, Leatherface is dumb.
Yeah.
And he will get outsmarted.
Yeah.
Michael's going to... I think he can use his intelligence to get in close and not get demolished by the chainsaw. That's how I see it going. And what I find is if I can paint the picture to victory, that's where I go. If I can create the narrative.
I think Michael wins that.
I agree. All right, this one, kind of easy. Jack Torrance from The Shining. Yeah, I go Mike. It'd probably be done fairly quickly.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Here's a good one. Now we kind of have to set the parameters. The Thing from The Thing versus Michael Myers.
I go with The Thing.
I think you got to go The Thing.
Oh.
If it's one infected person,
Yeah.
then we're talking it gets competitive.
The Thing would just keep breaking off parts of itself and reanimating.
Yeah. And he doesn't
Because that's why they couldn't kill it. And
he doesn't use anything hot. He doesn't use flamethrowers. As far as weaponry goes, he's never used fire to his...
Michael Myers?
Yeah. He's been
only
he's in a building that was on fire, but he didn't...
He just uses a knife, right? It's the only thing.
Yeah, so how's he killed the Thing?
Oh, yeah. Well, I said The Thing would win. I mean, it's hard to kill something like that. I mean, I'd even have trouble. I'd have used different weapons. But
Such as a candle?
Probably. A Bic lighter?
Yeah.
Sure, laugh, but it would work.
Who's a Bic?
You never heard of a Bic lighter?
I know, I was trying to make a pun.
No,
It's kind of
funny.
a lesser known pun.
Yeah, like unknown. Like I know it, nobody else. It's a private joke only. I understand it.
Oh god. Yeah. So I think The Thing.
Oh,
I think The Thing.
Yeah.
I think The Thing wins this. Okay, Evil Dead. You haven't seen this. Evil Dead: The Deadites. They could possess Michael. They would jump body to body. So you kill one person, it just. Oh no, you've seen an Evil Dead movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just haven't seen the Bruce Campbell one.
The Deadites, which is basically like what you become after you're possessed.
Yeah. Let me think about that.
So if it's one Deadite versus him, he wins.
Yeah, because
It could infect
that one
him.
did.
Oh, it has to bite you.
Didn't in the one I saw, the first Evil Dead, they killed the Deadite, right?
The chick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually kind of. I
Can't remember the exact.
They burned her
ending.
to death, and
Wasn't there a car rolled over on her or something?
I don't know about that chick. The very beginning, that girl's burned. I guess the whole
Oh.
family dies. So someone has to be close enough to catch it, and if you kill it, you're next.
Okay.
So I don't think he can win that.
Is that how does it spread? You're just around it?
Yeah, and you have to be able to fight it off. So Ash.
Oh, internally.
Yeah, Ash. It's only isolated to his hand, so he just cuts his hand off.
Oh, that's
It's-
why he did that.
It starts like an infection. So, okay, if it's one Deadite versus him, I know I keep flip flopping, but that's how science is done. Every scientist I know didn't believe in dinosaurs and then did, and then they just keep flip flopping, flip flop, flip
Yeah,
flop.
yeah. There's proof both ways.
Yeah, which I think is funny as a layman. I like when
Like
science
funny,
kind of
haha, or unusual.
like I dream about it. I write in my journal about it.
I dreamt about dinosaurs again. They were big, friendly dinosaurs.
Wouldn't it be funny if they made up dinosaurs?
Yeah. I don't know who would get the joke once they told us it wasn't real.
There's
but
just someone who's so much smarter than everyone else, and they can lead everyone to believe that there was dinosaurs.
yeah.
They just find bones and they're like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Well, I've
They
seen
find giraffe bones and they're like, that's a T-Rex. And they're like, holy shit, you're right.
What's a T-Rex? Oh, I'll draw you a picture.
Let me tell you about it. So he has really short arms, but he's the king of all the dinosaurs.
Tyrannosaurus Rex. I'm thinking Rex means king. Tyrant lizard king is what I think.
Rex means 6 sides.
Yeah.
He's
I knew he shouldn't have pulled you out of school. I knew it.
Someone had to
said,
do
no, he knows enough.
Someone had to do the farm work.
It's true. World needs ditch diggers too.
Yeah. I go Deadites, even though I don't want to.
It's a tough call.
Just say one.
Yeah. Hard to say.
Go with your gut.
I'm going to go Michael Myers because I don't care if you possess him unless you're Pazuzu.
Oh, wait. Yeah, you're right. He can chop off. Yeah, I go Michael Myers, too.
I think you possess him and he doesn't even know you're there or care.
I
It's just
honestly, I respect the way you did this list, and I'm not being sarcastic. Because you rode for the people you like.
Well, so do you. I mean, you just
Yeah.
don't do it as well as I do, but the attempt is there.
I mean, I'm
Thought.
trying to
No, yours is
use
fine. I'm
a weird logic. Okay, Jaws.
kidding. You did. You did it. In the water?
Both. So it's 2 matches. One in a phone booth and the other one in water.
Okay.
I give Jaws the win in water.
Yeah.
What about
We'll
in the phone
consume
booth?
him. I mean, he's
Yeah.
gone. That's it.
Probably just drowns
If
him.
Michael Myers could eat other villains, he would win probably all of them. Phone booth. And you mean that metaphorically. You don't mean
Metaphorically, yeah. They're
Very
very,
small space.
tight quarters. You know.
I say Michael does that. Because unless his mouth is like right in front of your face.
Well, that's how they're going to start. Because in a UFC fight, you do start facing each other.
You don't have to.
Well,
It's not like they're going to shake gloves.
I don't think.
You're not going to shake gloves.
So they're going to be facing each other. They're going to. Okay, so there's a crane or cherry picker, whatever works mechanically, that has the jaws chained up, and it drops it into the octagon facing Michael.
Michael,
And the ref is gonna say, Mike, you have to stay in your corner until it starts. They have to listen, or it's an automatic DQ.
Well, he's not quick, but I think he can get out of a fish out of water.
How much
kind of writhing over at him.
can sharks turn out of water? That's
Yeah,
viewers.
but not all the way around.
Can it? Well,
I think
that's
I
gonna
could beat Jaws out of water.
I
Give me a knife, and
I
bet you
wouldn't
could.
do. You're gonna have to work on it for like
Okay, well, I'm not
50
insane.
minutes.
No, stab him in the brain. Jaws isn't supernatural at all.
Okay,
hit him in the
but-
brain with a
okay.
knife.
In the brain, first of all, you're gonna have to penetrate its skull. Michael probably can do that.
Yes.
But then you're so close to its mouth, you're really risking it. You're risking that
yeah.
it can't turn. I'm turning away from the mic, like they can see what I'm
Can you
doing.
see what he did? Do you see that?
You're risking, yeah.
No. No, I shouldn't say.
It's
I know
tricky.
what you mean. I know what you mean, but I just don't. I mean, I think he's smart enough to know that he's going to try to move his head around, but I don't think he can. He would have to completely like do a 180.
I need to see
But even if Jaws,
how
listen,
dexterous
Jaws,
a shark is out of water. I need to know, because then this is just guesswork.
Yeah.
I don't know how quickly
they're
it
not
can
like
turn.
crocodiles though, and even they are limited. They can go forward fast, but they're not good at.
I've seen a gator roll before.
Yeah, they roll once they have hold of you. It's called the death roll.
You don't want to mess with that.
It's not that bad.
Maybe
Crocodile
Michael
Dundee.
just like literally carves its tail off,
Why? Why would he do that?
so Jaws bleeds out.
Well,
I'll
although
give-
he's got to swing that tail too. You don't want to be near the head or the tail, because the tail I think could cut you. Maybe not. Probably not.
that's a
But
tricky.
anyway, it is
that's a
swinging
tricky.
that thing.
That's a tricky.
and it's very powerful. The tail swing.
And Jaws is huge
You know, he's big, like the size of a bus.
with the doll's eyes.
Dead eyes.
So, were you going Mike then?
I go Mike. Yeah.
I mean,
think
I
it might
want to
be
go
difficult.
Mike too. It's
I'm not saying
definitely.
it's going to be a walk in the park, but
This is maybe the closest toss up of them all.
ow, come on.
It is, man. It is. So I have to see how dexterous a shark is out of water. If it's not as dexterous as I'm thinking, I go Mike. If it is, I go Jaws. I'm leaning they're pretty dexterous. I'm gonna go Jaws.
Is that a word?
I don't think I'm pronouncing it right.
I hope you're not trying to say ambidextrous.
No, like
Well, I know you're talking about dexterity.
dexterity, yeah.
I've never heard of dexterous used, but I guess it could be.
All right, so this is a movie you haven't seen. I'll give you the rundown. It is Funny Games, Peter and Paul. You should watch it. There's an American version. It's good. Really good. They carry, one of them has a gun. They've used a golf club. They're in one movie. But their big supernatural ability is that in the house there's a remote control, and if they get their hands on it, they can pause and turn back time.
They'd win then. I mean, if they have access to the remote.
But they're a little cocky, so it's
So
not
they're
like they're
still-
holding the remote control the entire time.
Okay, well, that's the fact. I mean, if you could freeze time,
Yeah,
that gives you
it's a
huge
pretty
advantage.
good. Yeah,
I mean, that you could beat Superman probably with that.
yeah.
Just freeze them.
You have to figure
Forever.
out what their weakness is, though. Fuck it. They win. I mean, it's not impossible for Michael to win, but
Difficult.
he's, in a way, kind of human. They're going to want to torture him, though. Here's another thing.
You're into that?
Yeah.
So they freeze time and torture people?
No. Just if they lose the upper hand, they freeze time and then put them back in a...
Advantageous position.
Yeah. I think they might get too cocky.
Are they like surfers or something?
No, they're like... Well, in the version I watched, they're like... it's like an Austrian twink and then an Austrian little chubby... I don't think they're gay,
nerds?
but they could be gay. Yeah, they're kind of nerdy looking.
Kind of.
But... Yeah, physically they are no chance.
Right.
You have to take into account there's going to be a remote control there.
Any remote control or just certain?
Any remote control, from what I know. Because it wasn't their house, and that person's house is remote control. I mean, if there's no remote control, yeah, it's an easy win. But it's only interesting if you have that.
Right.
They're not going to have it in their hand, but it's going to be somewhere. Michael would destroy them before they get to it, unless they're inches away, and he kills one.
He's got to have
it.
They got to have it in their hand.
Yeah. Well, how? Yeah, it all comes down to positioning. If they can get to the remote control within 3 seconds, they can win. But I think Michael has 2 chances at it. But the second chance, they're going to put him at a severe disadvantage where he's going to be like tied up. And so I go Michael unless they are like so close.
Okay.
Xenomorph from Alien.
I think they win.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to tear you completely apart.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Or it's going to face sucker you.
Yeah, cut them and it'll bleed on you with molecular acid.
Yeah. Xenomorph is one of the ones that's just like super tough to beat.
Yeah. That and Predator. Although Xenomorph, in my opinion, is more badass than Predator.
Yeah, I think so too.
Maybe that's common knowledge.
I gotta rewatch Alien versus Predator again, but I don't know how Predator beats the Xenomorph. Predator next.
Predator. He's got that thing on his shoulder. It's like a laser.
So here's something I always bring up because Predator's been beat by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Can Michael impress Predator enough to give him a fair fight? Take off his equipment? I think so.
I still think he'd win.
Even without the equipment?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does have he has superhuman strength.
And apparently incredibly bright. I mean, they adapt very fast. At least from... Have you ever seen one called Predators? With Adrian Brody?
I have. I don't remember it super duper well.
Topher Grace was in it. Remember him from... Yeah, I loved it. I really like it. It's real. In my opinion, it's very good.
Yeah, I don't remember disliking it. I don't think I would
like.
I don't think I'd like it more than Predator. That movie's just badass.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of that movie.
Well, Predator Badlands. I don't know. I hope they don't screw this
Is
up.
that real? I don't...
Oh, maybe. I thought so.
Maybe it is too. I only saw on IMDb that it's like a proposed movie.
Oh.
It seems like it could be real, but I don't know for sure if it is. Because they do a thing. I didn't watch the trailer either. Sometimes they make AI trailers for movies.
This could have been. You're right.
If he looked weird...
Yeah, because they don't look quite right in the AI versions of...
But, yeah, I mean, Predator with the equipment on definitely wins. Predator with the equipment off. So you go Predator even with the equipment off.
I just think they're super quick. I mean, they would rip your arm out of your arm socket.
Yeah.
They'd pull your head off. I mean, they're crazy strong. And Michael is not as strong.
Yeah, if that's the type of strength we're dealing with, I think
Don't you think?
agree with you.
I mean, I've never seen them do that, but...
Well, it's tough because I don't know what they're capable... I don't know. I think you're right. I can't remember... Do you remember any specific scenes from the original? That's all I can base it off of. Or did he actually do that before? You ever tear anyone apart?
Well, in Predator... Are you talking the original? Let me think.
Well, any of them.
Well, okay, in the one, he pulled a guy's spinal cord out.
All right, yeah, I go Predator.
Because he's like Freddy in a way, too. He can do that with his hands. He can make it a sword, or he can make it...
Oh, he's like Wolverine.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think. But anyway, he tore this guy's spinal cord out.
Nosferatu. Which is also Dracula.
I don't think Michael's smart enough to kill him the right way.
Yeah, he'd have to keep the fight going until sunlight came up, and I honestly think even still, Nosferatu gets it over with within an hour.
I mean, he's so stealthy.
Stealth, superhuman strength.
Changeling.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, he could turn into a wolf if he wanted to, or a bat. The new one has like shadow powers, so he can manipulate people and use his shadow to like he can like if my shadow, I mean, he can stretch it across far arches, and it's just hard to explain. You have to
No,
see the movie.
I think I know what you mean. It is. But you saw Nosferatu?
Oh yeah, very good. I want to say like check it out for
What he was
sure.
talking about. I mean, they made the version back.
In 1929, was it two? Yeah. You're right.
And then did they make another? They didn't call it maybe Nosferatu. Or said the Terror of Nosferatu or something. I thought there was a second one, and then the current one.
So just films I've
And
seen.
they were talking about they gave the IMDb scores for all three of them. They said this is the lowest. I'm like, well, how do you do that on a 1922 movie? Okay,
Yeah.
with no sound.
Like I rated the original a 3.5 out of 5, and like, but it's like I could have gave it a 5 at the same time too. It's like I was kind of comparing not ancient art, but an outdated mode of art
Yeah,
to modern movies. But if you look at it,
you were
for the
probably
time,
giving it a huge advantage.
well, I could have given a bigger advantage. It could have been like for its time period, it's like groundbreaking. It's one of the quintessential horror. Like it is literally a movie that built the road for horror films and
Yeah,
created vampires as we know it. If that movie hadn't been made, someone would have had to. I mean, Dracula would have. I don't know. That's my take. It's highly instrumental, and German expressionism was huge for horror in general, but also just movies in general.
not Werner Herzog.
Yeah, I was gonna say that Nosferatu the Vampire.
Yeah.
I'll have to look at my list. I like that movie a lot, and
Is it good?
That one, yeah,
79.
yeah, that one. I think I actually give the slight edge to Herzog's
Okay.
Nosferatu, and then I've seen the Todd Browning, I want to say's Dracula from 1932. I like that. I mean, it's classic.
The
but-
original Dracula.
and it's all the same story. Nosferatu is the story of Dracula, right? Bram Stoker.
I didn't know that. Well,
This one is.
do you know what? And they did actually make a movie about it. It's all based on Vlad the Impaler.
And not
his
to
thing
spoil
was-
anything, but this new Nosferatu is more so inspired by his look,
Okay.
which is kind of cool. He does not look like the 1922 version.
Oh. So he
Well, he
was
kind
a
of
local.
does, but go on. Sorry.
Well, he was a local baron or something, and he was very cruel because he would impale people. But his primary fight was against invading Ottoman Empire.
Okay.
So that, I mean, and I think as a child, like his father, they would do this back in those days where they, like a king or a baron or whatever, would give his child to an enemy, and the enemy might give their child to you. And I think he grew up in like a Ottoman environment, and I think that's where he learned impaling. But anyway, when he comes back and he's defending whatever, it's
Transylvania?
just his land. I think it was called Transylvania. It's pretty sure that's what it was. But he was protecting his lands from like Ottoman invasion, and he was learned impaling, and at a very young age he was a very cruel and but fighting for his land and maybe not so much the people that lived there, although he didn't want it occupied either. So that's who he was, Vlad the Impaler.
It's and I think I read it was used because of how menacing it was to opposing troops. To have
So they'd
the
have them-
people
yeah.
impaled, some of them maybe still slowly dying.
Yeah.
It's like I don't want that to happen to me.
Yeah, right. And a lot of,
And I think crucifixion was used like that too.
Sure, yeah. I mean, that was a display. And all the, hangings were and beheadings were.
Yeah.
I mean, because they were like huge events when they would do it. Burnings.
But like,
People would come. I mean, it was entertainment.
so Vlad would have, I mean, whatever the number is semi-arbitrary, but a large number for display. Mm-hmm. It'd be like a field of people being impaled that you'd have to cross, and know you're entering the gates of death.
Right.
Which is why he is historically a badass motherfucker.
Yeah. And he would impale people so that they lived longer. Because he would try not to pierce any major organs and stuff like that.
Through the anus.
Maybe, probably. Well, I mean, that actually is an area that you may not want to pierce. I mean, it sounds.
I mean,
really gruesome.
you're still, and apparently it wasn't sharpened very
well.
Yeah. And you thought your prostate exam was rough.
I'm not kidding.
But
I used to use lube.
But yeah, that's a brutal way. I want to say so we made a video recently, just a quick little side tangent before our last two about, what's wrong with film. And I want to take kind of a step back in terms of what you could do. And I know I mentioned this originally in another point I made. One is definitely I'm doing both kind of currently. So you watch the mainstream stuff, pirate that.
You could pay for it.
Yeah, but
you won't, but we're saying you could.
But it's I think it's important to watch foreign film and watch film movements.
I think you got to, whatever you think you'll like. I mean, and that's okay to go out on a limb and don't discriminate because it is foreign or it's small production, stuff like that. But, I mean, people aren't, you're considered a cinephile, all right? You love cinema.
Whoa, don't call me that.
No, that's what you are.
And what a file?
Cinephile. And most people aren't.
I feel
the vast
like
majority.
If you're listening to this, you're more invested. So like Italian
there's appreciation,
horror.
And then there's like almost a scholar, someone who like a student of the game / scholar of film. Now you're not a scholar, but I mean you're not getting your PhD in this or anything.
I enjoy it to the extent that I want to learn more.
Right.
So like a scholarly mindset.
Yeah.
To your point. I mean, I just think like, you're listening to this, if you listen to an hour of two people
Knuckleheads
rambling, and that's actually it's just one person, been pretending to be a second person this whole time.
And you guys fell for it. It's like the Sixth Sense when you found out he was dead.
But
stupid.
There's foreign horror that's like really good.
Well, that's fine. That's cool. I mean, you're almost saying just watch foreign film. Carte blanche. Just do it. And I'm saying if you think,
Explore.
you have got to read some reviews on it to get a general idea.
Yeah, for sure. Don't blindly just like, hey, what's
film.
Japan come out with this month?
Right.
Look for those foreign films because I found so many types of films that I would have never thought I would have enjoyed. That I watched them like, holy shit! Like I didn't know this existed, and now that I've seen it,
yeah. And
they explore things that most American movies just never touch upon.
Yeah.
And beyond that too, it's like, yes, maybe this time period of film sucks. Maybe Quentin Tarantino hit the nail on the head. Like this year is just compare it to 72. or 68, whatever, like a great time period in film, and you might be like, it can't match up. It's nothing compared to that. It's like, a third of the movies are terrible. Even the best of the best can't match up. And maybe that's completely true. We have the benefit, though, of getting to go back and watch all of those films.
Yeah.
And like
50 years of film. So 50 years only goes back to the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
and the 60s
now some people
and 50s
think that's
have
far
a lot
back, but to me, that's not far back. I watch a 70s film and I don't even feel, it doesn't even feel dated, really. Some of them, not at all.
Yeah, some 70s films feel at home. It just feels kind of maybe like a period piece.
Yeah.
But, so you have that advantage. And then also, like, if you look at the great foreign stuff that came out, they're like some of the best films of any given year is foreign, in my personal opinion.
Yeah,
it's not
especially now. I'd say now,
yeah. I mean, you could make the argument that like maybe 40% of the films worth watching are American, or even 50, maybe, just to make it a nice round number. But I mean, the other 50% is outside of it.
Yeah, and even like 15 years ago, those percentages would be completely different. It'd be 90% U.S.
If you're looking for what influences the culture, maybe so. But I think even still, the last 100 years of film, there's significant movements that were being made outside of the U.S.
Yeah, I know. Like French had nihilism and
French New Wave. Then you have Italian neorealism.
There's
German expressionism.
True, but it wasn't
spaghetti westerns.
You're gonna stop now, aren't you?
Yeah, Soviets though. Soviets have good film.
Do they really?
Andrei Tarkovsky, I adore him as a director, and he actually.
Is he a wrestler? I thought he was a wrestler. Or
he has the name of a wrestler. Not exactly, but it sounds like it could be. But anyway, well, you would like him, actually, if you liked foreign film. Because he wasn't like, Propaganda was big. Like Sergei Eisenstein was a Soviet. Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
You had to.
Well, yeah, not only that, but it's like, I mean, he was like the Michael Bay of their... Or name a director who has made some good war films. I don't know. That is pro-US.
Was his mostly like the Soviet heroes in the Second World War type thing?
Kind of deal. Well, it might have been pre-World War II.
Oh, okay.
He did one about like, the workers' revolution and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he was big for film because it was, silent films, but he captured movement in a way that actually inspired directors who had these grand shots where, the type where there's hundreds of people on a battlefield maybe or something where just the way he captured it, they're like, well, I want to do that.
Right.
Which is pretty...
Which will add something to this film.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. So, like, if you're doing a battle scene and you see 8 guys, and you're supposed to like imagine the 100,000 behind them, or you see a big sprawl of.
In this sweeping shot,
yeah,
I think was
maybe him.
Kind of like exactly. So there's that. So yeah, watch those movements. Watch the big names in those movements. And like for horror, because you obviously like horror, you're watching this.
Remember, they're listeners now. Okay, exactly. Whether it's a visual element. Okay, I'm sorry.
Japan is super good.
Turks and Caicos.
Turks and Caicos make some good ones. Yeah.
They don't make a lot.
Italy, Mario Bava. The whole Giallo movement. But America has some of the best, but don't be afraid to go outside of the U.S.
Yeah.
And we made a point, and I kind of wholeheartedly agreed with you, but I think it is worth examining. It was about politics and film. And I think it's like know your place to the extent of, are you smart enough to make a well-rounded point that isn't preachy? Should maybe be the advice.
I think it's almost like no one can do that anymore. They're just too obvious.
Because I was,
Contrived plots and...
I was thinking about it as I was thinking about all those foreign films, and some of them, like, it's not... They have political biases. Even Tarkovsky, who I quoted in my... He's like he kind of falls into like a Orthodox Catholic not Catholic mindset. Mm-hmm. A lot of his films push towards faith, and that's not necessarily political, especially in that time period, but he had an anti-Russian kind of bent to him. He eventually left. It came out through his film because he couldn't always make what he wanted to make.
Yeah.
So
you may have tried to insert it in a...
Well, he had to be incredibly tactful because it had to be released by them.
Yeah. They had a bureau for that.
Yeah. So it's like telling, like putting a message.
This is anti-Soviet. No, I love the Soviets. I'm trying to say that in the film.
So
you sure?
You just have to know. I don't know how to put it, but it's like, look, if you make popcorn movies, don't put politics into it. Know your base, know what you're trying to achieve, and if it's entertainment, politics isn't entertainment. Politics should be thought-provoking.
Yeah.
You shouldn't. It's
politics is like the theoretical view of real life, or theoretical. Mm-hmm. Because true policy affects life. Everyday life. Taxes or immigration or
war.
Yeah, war.
That's why some of those foreign films they are great and they're necessary. Like those films do need to exist too. It's art. It's an art form that will take you out of your comfort zone, but you need to be a skilled enough artist to take them there.
Yeah, I think it takes real skill, not like Don't Look Up. I mean, I didn't watch it, and I know
but those are our favorite films to talk about.
Yeah, no, maybe it wasn't that bad or anything. It was about a meteor coming to strike the Earth, whatever. So it was a metaphor for global warming and so forth. It may have been a good movie. I don't know. I mean, I didn't watch it, but when you know it, going in, it's like, ugh.
Yeah,
I just don't want to hear. Look, I'll stop breathing so much if you shut the fuck up about global warming, okay? Because I'm, breathing out carbon dioxide. I'm so tired of hearing about it. Not to get political, but that was obvious.
And your private jet,
Yeah, the jet. Oh my God, people get on my case about that.
But if Daddy's got to go to Denver, Daddy's got to go.
I gotta go. I gotta be there. I have fans.
Also, you're gonna see your boyfriend score a touchdown, and
I could kill you. I will probably. Yeah, but that one was so obvious.
I just hate.
It's look, everybody knows that. Don't do it. Well, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Exactly.
He's got a sailing yacht. Yes. You ever see how big it is? It's a small city.
I've heard. I'm out of his age range though, so I've never been on it.
I've never been on it. Well, the one time, but no. I mean, they showed it. We watched this one show about yachting. It's
Below Deck.
Yeah, you know what it is. Mm-hmm. Well, they had his yacht was.
Leo's was on it.
Yeah, I mean, he showed a picture. I didn't go on it, but
yeah,
it's enormous.
I bet.
I mean, the staff is probably
And they're making great wages on that yacht, though.
Football team. Well, yeah, they're that.
That's how you expand
don't tell me
the
about
economy.
Yeah, these people. It's like they fly everywhere, and they keep talking about, oh, you shouldn't fly. It's like when you stop, I'll stop. And plus, I don't fly. I don't like to fly. Mm-hmm. So you don't have to lecture me.
Yeah, I don't want to fly either. I'm scared
They
of
fill me up,
pilots.
those TSI guys. TSA. Man, woman, doesn't matter. Fill me up every
They just
time.
call you juicy and then they pat you on the butt.
Yeah, and they think that's cute, and I don't.
I mean, I'm scared of pilots, so I don't fly very much.
No, that's clowns. You're thinking of clowns. You're
Oh,
afraid of
yeah.
them.
But yeah, I kind of wanted to straighten because I had time to think about it, and
Felt really bad.
yeah, I just like I do think that some people should be, if that's the if
Put to death?
no if they have a film idea and they can push those boundaries, they should. There's just been it takes genuinely some of the greats to actually do
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
and just because you're great at making movies doesn't mean you're great at that.
Right. Well, Apocalypse Now, based on Heart of Darkness.
Is-
Heart of Darkness was not about the Vietnam War. Heart of Darkness was about the abuses in ivory trading. The
Ivory.
trading. But anyway,
You didn't
he
have to say
converted that.
no, so
You got it so
sternly.
wrong. Gold. No, so he converted it to an anti-war movie, and I mean,
It was
you
great.
hear me talk about that movie all the time. I love that movie.
Might have superseded its source material. I don't
Oh,
know.
I
The
th-
book.
yeah.
I couldn't read that book. It was
Yeah,
so
you know,
hard.
I think I started to read it, and I'm like, God, is this awful? You know,
Yeah, I had no.
say, look, either read a book, takes 10 hours. Watch a movie, 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah. So
right?
maybe that's why
I mean, I have
Hollywood
spare
only
time, but I
makes
ain't.
reboots. It's just less time investment.
Yeah, but
why write a
yeah,
script
but
on
garbage
a
in,
book?
garbage out. Well, okay, yeah, but you have to. I don't know what the term is when you take a book and convert it adapt it to a screenplay. But that's fine. I mean,
Well,
but just
no, but you could just take the script of the first and then just change a few things and make it a sequel or
And nobody's gonna watch
reboot.
it.
No,
and then
I
we end
know.
up where we're at now.
I know, but
I know you're kidding.
yeah, like Michael Mann, I don't know if he could make political, like all types of political movies, but maybe certain types. And maybe Scorsese couldn't make certain types, but you know what I mean? It has to be within your wheelhouse. Even those directors who are like very talented,
Mm-hmm.
they wouldn't be able to make every type of film.
Oh no,
And so it's
they have their
and some of them could have political bents to it, but again, you have to be.
yeah.
That's just the way I felt like bringing it up. I thought it was definitely worthwhile, but the last two, Pennywise versus Michael Myers. You know more because you read the book. I don't know a ton about
Seems
Pennywise.
like Pennywise is hard to kill. From
Yeah.
the movie.
Well, from the movie, it's like
He's
he
an
kind of
alien.
has like a Freddy thing going on, where if you don't fear him, he
Yes, that's true.
he kind of
Minimalize or
yeah.
less
Shrinks.
powerful.
So, you're probably gonna say Michael doesn't fear anything
True.
because you kind of felt that way about Freddy. And I don't like to give Pennywise
A lot
a
of
win, but I think he's got some skeletons in his closet, Michael.
There's no closet. That's about
He's in the closet in
No.
that one scene with Lori.
Yeah, I know. But
And then he
there's
comes
no-
out of the closet.
there's no consciousness.
No, there is.
No.
I think there is.
He's a reptile brain.
Could be right. But do animals have nightmares?
Yeah, about stupid things like chasing a car or being chased by
Well,
a
maybe Pennywise is the car in this
car.
situation.
Well, okay, he better be.
He's a
'cause-
Nissan Altima.
Yeah, but animals have some limited consciousness.
I don't know
He's
what
a
that means.
nihilist.
He wants to watch the
Nothing.
world burn, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Some people, Bruce, just want to watch the world burn. I did. That was bad.
Oh, who was that supposed to be? Joker?
No. Albert. Or what the fuck's his name?
No, it's Albert.
Dan Kane? Something.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
Yeah.
Some,
I didn't know he said that.
some
I knew
peop-
somebody said
Some
it.
people, Master Wayne. Just want to what should have been. I fuck it up at the end. It starts off relatively good. You go ahead.
No, I mean, I was all right.
All right, so what do you say? Michael wins?
Yeah.
I go Pennywise, but it's a real toss. You've converted me. I think Freddy would win it. I'm not so sure about Pennywise. No, I got to give it to Pennywise.
All right.
And last but not least, Hellraiser Pinhead versus
Pinhead.
Michael Myers.
Priest of Hell.
Yeah, I just don't see how Michael. It's just he
He just,
starts
you know what? I
pulling out
had
the
a feeling,
hooks.
yeah. And they just keep coming,
Yeah.
you know.
Every horror villain would be really cool as a Cenobite.
Yeah. I liked, I think why I like Hellraiser so much is because it was about people in war who had been in war and had become completely disenchanted with life.
Now, do they cover that in Scarlet Gospels, or is it that in one of the sequels?
That's, you kind of infer that from one of the sequels, and they're looking for pure pleasure, just because they're maybe they're like kind of a nihilist. They just, nothing else matters.
Or maybe they've seen
in
so much
doing
that
so-
they're depressed.
Huh?
Maybe they're depressed.
I don't think that's true, and you're ruining it. For me, it's nothing to do with depression, but they're seeking they're seeking something out, and they'll go to any lengths to get it with the box. And I don't know why that appeals to me.
You get that from Frank in the first one. He's a hedonistic
Oh yeah, you're right.
guy
Right.
who's just looking for a new high.
Right, and that's what it is. They're looking for like a new high, because everything else is just
That's the
too mundane.
The one thing I do like about the new Hellraiser is that it's a very clear drug analogy, in my opinion.
Did you say trug? Did you say
No,
drug?
it's Trug Walk, but I said drug with a
Oh,
D.
drug. Oh, yeah.
She's a heroin addict, and the box is
She
like,
cut her hand on it. I mean, you have to want to. I think you should have to want to seek. The
yeah,
box.
that's true.
It shouldn't be accidental.
That's true.
But that was an analogy.
But her inner desire
for the high.
was there.
So okay, yeah. It's
It had been fulfilled, and that's why it cut
Nautilus.
her. It was almost it reached out to her,
right.
but it felt too sterile.
The movie didn't have it. It didn't have it. I mean, it had the look for the thing. It's
The original
I don't think
was-
the plot was all that much. Or,
It's grittier, in my opinion, and that's the only way I know how to describe it.
yeah. No, I agree. That's absolutely true. And I think there's still a movie, and I'm not even talking about Scarlet Gospels, which goes in a whole more. I mean, maybe they take elements of that, not the whole thing, the whole story that I think I explained once.
I still have to read the whole thing. Started it.
Oh, you did? Okay. But take elements from it to redo it, and you could have something. I watched it. I'm like, oh man, I waited for this for like 15 years, and I just am not. There's nothing about it. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, it didn't scratch that itch.
Yeah.
But someone can and eventually will make a good one. I think it's still culturally relevant. It didn't.
I think, yeah.
It made such a big impact in the '80s that I think people are like, look, there's clearly something there, and in this reboot culture, someone's gonna take a chance on it. I just don't know what legally has to happen.
Oh, they
Same
gotta
with
buy the
like
rights.
Jason. It's like you just have the character with the look. That's half the battle. Although when
You think they're gonna someone's gonna redo Jason?
They tried it in 2009. They just fucked it so bad that now
don't think
no one
there's
wants to
anything
touch it.
there.
In your defense, that has much less to work with from like the structure of what made that character, his backstory. You'd have to rework it so much that it's almost like just the look and maybe the mother connection to do that.
Yeah.
Like a Jason and Norman Bates kind of hybrid with the Jason look type deal.
Yeah.
That
You could make it more human.
Yeah, you could do that. But with Hellraiser, there's so much mystique that is yet to been
Right.
fully fleshed out that I think people really want to know. And I think some of the sequels maybe, they tried to show and explore it, and it's like just wasn't ready yet. Like maybe just
Yeah.
you actually need a bigger budget or...
Maybe that the main character would be. Well, I don't know if we want to do that. There was one sequel, or at least the ending was good. For some reason, Hellraiser had claimed a soul, and an angel appeared and said, we claim this soul is our soul. You can't. And the Hellraiser, and just tore her in half. Yeah. And someone who was kind of an ally or whatever, minion of him said, you cannot do that. You can't do that. And he said, I don't fear suffering. I am suffering. So there's nothing they could do. And what they did is they made he wasn't a Hellraiser anymore. He was a homeless street addict. And then he was like in just misery
Because he lost his power.
Yeah, I mean, he just in a really hopeless, horrible situation, and then the way they made him look, he looked miserable or abject poverty. I thought the ending was really good.
I'm gonna watch through all those one of these someday. Maybe not this year.
I would watch that
this
one.
year.
I would watch that one because it's a later one, but especially the ending is very, very good. And it's just one where what they do is like there's a guy and he's all like cut up and he's got sunglasses on, and you go in and you tell him your sins and he types them all up, and he gets the paper and he gives it to a guy named the assessor, which is just this fat, disgusting guy who like uses children's tears and mixes it and then he eats it. Well, normally that, and then he spits it into something. It's just, but he ended up choking the assessor, which is, hadn't happened before. And that's part of it too. So parts of it are pretty cool.
There's so I've read a couple issues. I might get them for you and let you borrow them. They are Hellraiser comics.
Mm-hmm.
This is just interesting. I haven't read any issues that had this specific character. I'm not obsessed with clowns. I mean, I know I like the Joker. I know I like Art the Clown. I kind of like Pennywise, but that's not like the allure. But there's a clown Cenobite whose position is to entertain the kids before they are processed into hell. And it's just like that captures my imagination for whatever reason.
Yeah, that's
and he kind of torments them too. Like the gags that he does on them are like ultra violent and he's not actually nice to them. And it's just there's so many Cenobites that you could like Pinhead. He is iconic, and we talked about it. Is like that actor was insanely good.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so crazy when you get those iconic characters who just really, like a Robert Englund or the guy who plays Jigsaw and definitely Pinhead. It doesn't have to be Pinhead. I know in the books he's a big deal, but they've fleshed out so many interesting Cenobites in the comics that you could very well explore a whole lot of them Some of the, but in like some of the supporting Cenobites in the films aren't even necessarily like incredibly interesting. Like the Chatterer has gotten, name appeal, but that one does. It's like, it doesn't make me want to question like
How they become that way.
how they become that, where, why is that their punishment,
Yeah.
and what's their motivation for what they're doing now.
Yeah.
Pinhead, because he's the priest of hell and he's wanted to climb the ranks of power in this second life or whatever, there's intrigue there because of that.
Mm-hmm.
But there's other characters that you could also find intriguing, that I just think is worth.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's all the villains I have to go over. Do you have any other ones?
No. So,
Michael Myers, he went in my list 3 and 18. What about you? No, I'm kidding.
I
He
think
definitely did better in your mind than in mine.
yeah, he's over 500 in my list.
But you definitely convinced me to give him more of a fighter's chance. Because coming in, I was kind of thinking he wasn't going to do
Very well.
very well. But you brought up some really good points. And that is why...
That's why God invented the internet, right? People
Exactly.
with great ideas or
Never heard of it.
fair ideas.
Next episode we're going to be doing, it's finally going to be Dad
Films.
films.
And my dad films are
Kick-ass dad movies that are fucking cool that you're going to want to watch.
not just you run. Well, you'll find out. I don't want to,
And my list is going to be super cool because it's going to be full of foreign films that you're going to want to check out. So, subscribe to the channel, comment your thoughts down below, and we'll see you on the Flippity Flute.
All right. Bye bye.